Okay, now we're on to lecture 4, which is encryption, decryption, part 2, working with polyalphabetic ciphers. Okay. Now we already talked about a single alphabet. The single alphabet, we know the index sequence was 0.0667 if it was in English. Did that like 5 seconds ago. Now, what if we have 26 possible alphabets? Okay. In other words, so you know how the Caesar cipher shifted by 3? What if we shifted by 1? An E is no longer an E. An E is now an F. So you see how that can really screw it up. Okay. So if we have 1 alphabet in English, our index coincidence is 0.0667. If we have 2, 0.052, then 0.0, all the way down to infinity. So 0.038 would be infinity. In other words, it'll continue on from there no matter how many we get. So what we mean by this is, so if I have this statement or the phrase, this is a test X, 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 X. Okay. So the first letter, the T, we encrypt with the first alphabet. Okay. The H, which is the second letter, we encrypt with the second alphabet. The I, which is the third letter, we encrypt with the third alphabet. Y'all with me so far? Mm-hmm. The S, we now encrypt with the first alphabet again. The I with the second S was the third, then the A with the first again, the T with the second, the E was the third. So what we're doing is now we're not going to have the same amount of A's and B's and E's and all those because we're using multiple alphabets. Okay? So what you want to do, see, the moment you can look and see that there's the most E's, you know it's English. But that's bad. If you want to encrypt something, that's too easy. You want to have something that's, it's kind of like if I had a whole bunch of keys and all the business division were marked in blue. We already know how to, I mean, if I'm trying to break into row state and I have every key from row state and all the business division keys are labeled in blue. I mean, but I'm trying to break into humanities, right? Then try the blue? No. So you make it harder by removing the coloring. That way people wouldn't know. Because think of rather than 1 building, now they'd have to try 3 buildings, okay? With 1 alphabet, it's too easy to do. We'll see an example here. There's something called the Vigenere cipher. And when I went through a training class, it's kind of funny. The guy's like, yes, there's something called the Vigenere cipher. It's actually the Vigenere cipher. It's a polyalphabetic cipher. Okay? Based on the Vigenere tableau, or table, has 26 possible alphabets, each keyed by a letter. So, look at the plain text. That's in the middle. But, soft, what, you know, yeah, but, soft, what, and I don't remember the rest of it. Someone's got to know that. Anyone know that?
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks.
That's the one. See, I knew somebody would know. There's always somebody who knows it. That way, I don't have to know it. So, but soft, what light through yonder window breaks?
Through yonder window breaks, yeah.
How do you know that?
Tis the east and Juliet is the sun of Shakespeare.
There you go. Now you know I did not major in high school. No, it was Julius Caesar. Okay. So that is our plain text, okay? Well, what if we had a key that was Juliet, 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 you know, over and over and over? So our key is basically 6 characters long. J-U-L-I-T, J-U-L-I-T, J-U-L-I-T. So the B we encrypt with the J alphabet. The U we encrypt with the U alphabet. The T with the L, the S with the I, the O with the E, and so on and so forth. So now we're not just shifting it by 3, we're adding an entire new concept to this. This was considered unbreakable for over 300 years. It's pretty complex, doesn't it? Okay. So I'm going to write these things. Actually, let's do this. So it was Juliet. Actually, I can do it on Notepad. I keep forgetting. So Juliet was, I'll put it in caps so you can see it easier. J-U-L-I-T, but soft. Okay, that's good enough, isn't it? So, and the alphabet we're going to do at the top. So see the J alphabet up here? So everything we're going to use this time is on the J column. So B and J becomes K. You see that? See that right there? U, on the U alphabet, U becomes O. Everybody see that one? Right there? Okay, so that one becomes O. L on the T alphabet, so let's get up to the T alphabet. L on the T alphabet is E. Okay, I on the S alphabet, let's go up by 1. I on the S alphabet is A. E on the O alphabet will give us S. And T on the F alphabet, let's go to F. T on the F would give us Y. Okay. Did I do it right? Yep, I did it right. K-O-E-A-S-Y. See that? So what this is doing for us is it's adding a key to this. And the Juliet's rotated. So the next letter, which was T, wasn't it? It should be T. So this should be J. So the J and the T again, let's do this one more letter. J and T would be C. So now do you agree that both the B, let me bring this up so you can see it, both the B and the T were encrypted with the same alphabet? Do you agree with that? So if we had enough instances of stuff encrypted with the J alphabet, we should be able to perform frequency distributions on just the J and calculate if it's in English. But it's tougher because now we have to worry about 6 alphabets. But if you try to do frequency distribution, you got to make sure you separate the alphabets out. So you can't mix the J and the U's. You have to do all the J's, then all the U's, and all the L's, and so on and so forth. Okay? Kind of with me? A little bit at least? Good thing there's like 5 years of recordings up there if I explained it differently. Okay, so let's continue on. So considered unbreakable for 300 years. In 1863, a Prussian major called what? Koziski. His name is what again? Koziski. How do you spell Koziski? Is it K-A-M-A-N-S-K-I? It's not? Okay, so don't pick that one. How about Kaznansky? No. How about Framansky? No. So what's the name again? Koziski. So if you see this word again, and it's the option in a multiple choice test, could you pick it out from Framansky, Kaznansky? Okay. I couldn't believe how many got it wrong last year. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, you have an assignment called the Koziski method. It's in here. They got it wrong. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So, in 1863, a Prussian major called Koziski, very good, proposed a method of breaking the Vigenere cipher that consisted of finding the length of the keyword, then dividing the message into simple substitution ciphers. Like I said, if we know how long the key is, we knew where the J was. Then we could do everything with the J and everything with the U. You follow me on this? Okay. So once we can break it up into individual alphabets, then we can just do frequency distribution on those and we're done. Okay. I've written a Java program and a Python program to totally solve this. They're both about 3/4 of the way done. The problem is I always move on to something else, so they're not finished. Maybe we'll have to finish them in here one day. I don't know. We'll see. So how do we break this? So what's the name again? Koziski. So Koziski came up with a method of breaking this. You have a homework assignment on this, and it's on the test. First thing we do is we look for a repeating pattern of 3 or more letters. That's step 1. So you can look at your ciphertext, you can look at your encrypted message, and look for a repeating pattern. The longer, the better. I realize this is 3 or more. Try to pick for longer. Because on the homework assignment you all got, well, I don't know if I put it up there yet. So I was trying to, that's the one I didn't redo yet. I haven't been able to make it tougher yet. Maybe if it's still up there, if I put the same one up there, it's like 11 or 12 characters long. So look for a long repeating string. Then once you find the repeating strings, write down the starting positions. A lot of people screw this up. So let's use, so I'm going to give you some cipher text down there. A, B, C, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Okay. So do we see a repeating pattern of 3 or more characters? Okay. What is our repeating pattern? A, B, C. So the first A is where? Right there. What's the starting position?
4.
4. Very good. So we got a 4. And what's the next one? Where'd my key go? So the next one starts at 7. Next one starts at 10. Y'all agree with that? So we found our repeating pattern of 3 or more. For each pattern, write down the starting position of the one. So we got a 4, a 7, and a 10. This math will probably not work out, by the way. Compute the differences between them. So what's the difference between 4 and 7? 3. How about 7 and 10? 3. This math might work out. Okay. And so let's actually go a little bit longer. Hold on. I'm going to have to make this work. How am I going to do this? We're going to go, this 11, 12. Okay, so what's the next day? So this is 16, you agree? So that next one starts at 16. So what's the difference between those two? 6. So we have the difference between the first and the second is 3. Second, third is 3. Third and fourth is 6. Okay, so now we have a different number in there at least. Okay, so compute the differences between the starting positions. We did that. Y'all with me? So many people get that wrong. That's not hard. Determine the factors. So what are the factors of 3?
3 and 1.
3, comma 1. Do y'all know what a factor is? In other words, what numbers can you multiply together to get the result? So 3 and 1. How about the second one?
3 and 1.
Cheated on that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
How about this one?
1, 2, 3, and 6.
1, 2, 3, 6. Why did we get so many extras on that one? Because it's
It's a bigger number.
a bigger number. Okay. 1's not the answer. If it was 1, it would be a substitute. It would be a monoalphabetic cipher. So what's the other common factor? 3. Guess what our key happens to be? A, B, C. Boom, we solved the answer. Okay? See how we did that? So we determined all the factors of them. The key length will be one of the factors that appears often. Not always the most often, but it will appear often. In your homework assignment, it appears most often. Okay? So you see how we did that? So now once we get the key length of 3, we know we can just break our message apart in 3s. And we'll have, 3 alphabets to work with. So far, so good? Yes? Okay. Not difficult. Okay. So here is another example. So I give you this ciphertext up here, and I wrote down the starting positions. Now, your assignment, I think, has spaces in it. Get rid of the spaces. The reason I give you spaces is just so it's easier to count. If you want to leave them in, that's fine, but don't count the spaces. Okay? And in this example, you see VLZ, IUD, VLZ, ignore the spaces. You with me? Okay. So we have our ciphertext. We looked for repeating sets of strings. In this case, we happen to have VLZ, IUD, LR. It's repeated 3 times. You with me? So the first one started at 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The second one started at 83. And the third one started at 104. So we remember 20, 83, and 104. What's the next step? The difference between the two. So 20 from 83 will give us 63. Then 83 from 104 will give us 21. All right? Yeah, 63 and 81. Yeah.
7, 9,
Okay. So let's go on.
7.
So 83 to 20 gives us 63. The factors are 3, 7, 9, 21, 63. 104 to 83 gives us 21, which is 3, 7, and 21. Don't include 1. 1's not a valid one. Okay. And on the homework, I'm asking you the most common factors. Don't include 1. The common factors are 3, 7, 21. So how long do you think the key is?
7.
It's probably 7. Could be 21, though. Okay. In this case, it was 7. Because there it is again, but now I'm showing you the key and the plain text. And you see the key ends up being Dickens. Okay. So you would hope it always be the longest one, but it's not always the longest one. You know how hard it was to make this darn assignments that worked out just that way? That was very hard. Okay. So there's some perfect substitution ciphers. Infinite, non-repeating set of alphabets are immune to this. Because the whole reason Kaczynski method works is it's a repeating string. You know, the repeating key in there, like Dickens, Dickens, Dickens. Okay. So things immune to are one-time pads. One-time pad is something you only use one time, then you throw it away. Okay. Or a long random number sequence. Or a Vernum cipher, a punch paper tape. Or maybe a book, like the telephone book. Or the Gideon Bible. You see, the Gideon Bible uses it's a key in quite a few different movies out there. Okay? Because you can tell them, you know, get this version of the Bible, go to page 82, and there's the answer on whatever. So, okay. There's also something called dual message entrapment. So maybe the key is disregard this message. And the message is this message is crucial. So even if you did decode it, which one do you believe? Okay, so that's another way. Transposition ciphers. Read it up and read it across. This is a message to show how transposition ciphers work. Break it up in groups of 5, going up and down. So a ciphertext is TSHOH, HAOSE, so on and so forth. And you just write them in groups of 5, and then you get your message out. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. That has a C of 10. So, all right. Breaking transposition ciphers. Look for common digrams and trigrams. Okay? It's things that we see a lot in English. EN, ES, NT, TH, ON, so on and so forth. Trigrams, you know, THE, ENT, ION, AND, just stuff repeated quite a bit, and you can help you decide where the break is. Okay? You can also use sliding window, try it with 3, then try it with 4, then try it with 5. You can just continue to increase until you get something that works. All right. Or you can do double columnar. That works tough. Double columnar. Okay. Maybe you do it with 10, then you take that result and do it with 15. So that'll be even harder to do. Okay? Okay, how can we break them? There's a relationship between the plain text and ciphertext. I'm not going to require you to know that. Okay? All right. How about if we combine 2 or more approaches? So maybe we encrypt our plain text with a key, then take that, encrypt it with a different key. 2 locks on the door kind of thing. Okay? Easy enough there. All right. Claude Shannon. I read actually 2 different books about him. Amazing man. He wrote Characteristics of a Good Cipher, which I've not been able to get a copy of yet. It's not a book. It's his master's thesis.
Mm-hmm. That's the paper that's mentioned in the crypto book.
Right. I need to go. I want to find that. I just haven't got it yet. I keep forgetting to go to the library and get it. It says the amount of secrecy needed should determine the amount of effort needed. By the way, what's his name?
Claude Shannon.
Claude Shannon. With an E at the end? Claude Shannon?
Like
So last name Shannon, first name was Claude?
Mm-hmm.
Not Kaczynski. Cloud?
I'll start.
Okay, I'm just saying, you know, if someone said, man, what was that book called Good Ciphers? Who wrote it? Not Kaczynski, but Claude Shannon. Man, I'm giving you so many answers here. If you don't get this stuff right, you might as well. Okay, so the amount of secrecy needed should determine the amount of effort needed for encryption and decryption. So I am encrypting the Domino's pizza order, or I'm encrypting the nuclear launch codes. I would hope I'd use a little bit better of an encryption method and technique on the launch codes than I would on the Domino pizza order. Okay?
Very important.
And also, I mean, that Domino pizza order, pizza can deliver in 30 minutes. Actually, it's not 30 minutes for free anymore, is it?
Oh,
Well, that sucks. Got to take a break for a second. This is totally off subject. There's a pizza company which I read a book about. Forget the name of it. Not Pi 5. Okay, it's out in one of those weird people of California, and they made a pizza that's, when you order it, the pizza now is actually at your door in 5 minutes. Okay, literally, you order your pizza online, the pizza is cooked at your door in 5 minutes. Well, first of all, when they first started their business, you would order your pizza online, and a robot put the dough out, put the sauce on it. The only thing a human came in contact with was to put the ingredients. And it literally went totally through the oven, everything, put it in special boxes to make sure it stayed fresh. That's how they started their business. Forget their name. Now they have these special trucks that actually bake the pizza on the way. These trucks are located around California. They have algorithms to know when people are going to order. So the trucks are like hanging out in your neighborhood.
Lunchtime.
And then you let her order your pizza, and then instantly they're cooking it straight to your house. Isn't that amazing?
The pizza's at your house before you order it.
I was like, I haven't even given you my credit card number yet. It's good, already got it. But I mean, I can't remember the name of the company, darn it. Okay. But I mean, the principle of timeliness, I mean, if you're going to encrypt something that you're going to be eaten in 5 minutes, I mean, and gone in 20, I mean, it's not that critical. So, you know, the principle of timeliness is only do what's needed to protect it as long as it's needed, okay? All right, keys in encrypting or enciphering algorithms should be free from complexity. DES, which you're going to learn about, DES was made in secrecy, okay? DES, the name, came from what's called the Lucifer cipher. It's called the Lucifer cipher because the name of it was D-E-M-O-N, demon. Okay? The only reason it was D-E-M-O-N was because the name was actually demonstration when IBM wrote it. But when they wrote it, they could only give it 5 names. So demonstration became D-E-M-O-N, which became Lucifer, which became DES. Isn't that weird how this stuff works out? You'll read this in the book as well. Okay, so free from complexity. DES was very complex. AES, totally open. They tell you how the entire thing works, and it's so much better. It's actually made during a competition. Used what's called the Vigenere cipher. Okay, crazy stuff. So implementation should be as easy as possible. If you make it too tough to do, people aren't going to do it. Come on, you've seen that in the past. It's like, how many of you got an alarm at your house? Most of us. We pay for service. Do you lock it every day? I religiously lock my darn door. My mother-in-law, not so much. She doesn't even shut the door sometimes. But the point is, you know, for her, the darn alarm's too hard to use. Okay, for her, anything. Shutting the fridge is too hard to use as well. And flushing the toilet, definitely too hard to use. Shutting the bathroom door, oh my God, too hard to use. But I don't know how we got there. It's okay. But it needs to be simple, okay? Your implementation needs to be simple because if it's too hard, people won't do it. That's just a fact of life. It's too hard, people don't want to do it. Yeah, I was talking to Bethany because she was getting a car that was a standard. She didn't want it. No one has standard. I mean, who's driven a standard before? A couple of you? Aren't they super easy?
Yeah.
They're awesome. But she's like, oh, they're so hard. And I told her, no, you're going to accident. She goes, well, when I have an accident, Well, I'm going to be on a hill and I'm just going to crash into the person behind me. Why? I said, I taught my boys and my niece how to drive. My house is on a hill, literally on a hill.
Press the brake.
Yeah. What I did was I pulled the car out into the hill and they had to go up that hill. And as soon as they started going, stop, start again. All the way up this. But it needs to be easy. And she thinks driving a stick shift is hard. Okay. Errors should not propagate or corrupt the message. So if something screws up at the beginning, you don't want that error to propagate through the entire message. And the ciphertext size needs to be equal to or smaller than plain text. So if I'm encrypting, you know, a document, I don't want it to produce an Encyclopedia Britannica as ciphertext. Okay. All right. Trustworthy encryption systems are based on sound math, analyzed by competent experts to know that they're based on sound math, and should stand the test of time. DES came out in 1977, was used for years until it was finally broken. But believe it or not, it's still used today. Triple DES is used quite frequently today. But DES, they've proven, I think it can be broken in like 21 hours or something. But if I'm encrypting my pizza order, 21 hours is probably fine, because now I'm going to have a pizza in 5 minutes. 21 hours is good. RSA, 1978, still used today. AES, 2001, definitely still used today. Yeah, a lot of these are still used today. Okay. All right, confusion versus diffusion. This is on the test. Okay, confusion, interceptor. Wait a minute, is confusion diffusion? Yes, I think it is. Interceptor should not be able to predict the effects of ciphertext by changing one character in plain text. In other words, if I take my plain text and change just one letter in it, I should not be able to tell you what's going to change in the ciphertext. In other words, there not be a one-to-one mapping. By changing the third character here, you change the seventh character there. It shouldn't have that. There should be some sort of complex functional relationship between the two. Okay. Diffusion, changing one thing changes many parts. So if I change one character in my plain text, it should not change just one in the it should change a bunch. Okay. In other words, it's diffused amongst the ciphertext. Okay. Changing plain text affects many parts. Information about a single plain text character is distributed throughout the ciphertext. Okay. All right. Stream and block ciphers on the test as well. So write down these two slides. Okay. Whatever number they are. Okay. Stream cipher. We're going to convert the plain text to ciphertext, but we're going to do it. So pretend I'm typing. As I type, it's going to encrypt it letter by letter. The stream is being encrypted. Okay. It's called a high speed of transformation. In other words, as soon as I type it, it's gone. Okay. Low error propagation. Maybe I mistyped one letter. Only that one letter gets infected. Low diffusion. Again, one letter is not going to propagate anywhere. But it does have susceptibility to malicious insertion. Someone can just stick something in the middle. Now, block ciphers, on the other hand, we no longer encrypt letter by letter. We wait till we get an entire block. Okay. Could be like a transposition cipher or DES or even AES. They're all block ciphers. So low speed of transformation. In other words, I can't just pretend you're typing. Okay. See, way back when I learned about networking in Europe, we had 300 baud modems. Let me explain what a 300 baud modem is. Imagine this room. We had computers on this side and computers on that side, and they were connected via a network. We would literally type over here, walk over there, then watch the letters appear one at a time. That's a 300 baud modem. Okay? So imagine a block cipher with a 300 baud modem. You would have to wait till you get the entire block before it could encrypt it. Okay? So very low speed of transformation. So I have to receive the entire block, then I can do something with it. So I could potentially be waiting. High error propagation, mess up one character could affect the entire block, or potentially multiple blocks that, you know, they're changed all. High diffusion, it could really screw up all kinds of different things in there, but it is immune to malicious insertion. I mean, someone tries to stick in one letter between blocks, it's not going to work. Okay. All right. Breaking them. Cryptanalysis. Ciphertext only attack means you only have the ciphertext. You try to break it with only looking at the ciphertext. Known plain text is I have the plain text. and the ciphertext, and I can figure it out. Probable plaintext is I think I know what the plaintext was, and then you have the ciphertext. Chosen plaintext, I know the process. In other words, the sender's process is known, and the last one, chosen ciphertext, is the algorithm and ciphertext are both known. Okay? So just different ways of performing cipher analysis. Those are not on the test, they're just good information to know. Not on the test yet. I'll include everything yet. Okay. All right. That's the end of this lecture. Okay.